Nearly a decade since its debut, the Tesla Model X retains the character that has made it a favorite with families looking to go electric. It's roomy and efficient, with seating for 7 and an EPA estimated range of up to 348 miles. Cargo space is also abundant and the Model X's design is distinctive. Its upward-opening rear falcon wing doors are also a guaranteed conversation starter, even if that conversation includes grumbling to yourself about low overhead garage clearances. That the Model X can also leave traditional sports cars behind in a cloud of dust, especially in its bananas fast plaid trim, just happens to be a happy coincidence. Tesla being Tesla, the Model X features rolling updates throughout a given model year, typically performance, or convenience-related upgrades enabled through over-the-air software updates. For 2024, more physical changes include a glass roof that Tesla says weighs less and allows more light into the cabin yet retains the same level of UV protection. Upgraded brake pads that can handle more heat also promise improved braking performance. There's also a stunning new shade of red paint, Ultra Red, for an extra $3,000, making it the most expensive optional color in the palette. The 2024 Model X will remain a trademark Tesla, with all the pros, cons and quirks that entails. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will likely remain unavailable, Tesla choosing to go its own way with infotainment features. While obviously not deal-breakers to thousands of current Tesla owners, smartphone integration is a feature available on newer rivals like the BMW iX and Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. For the off-road inclined, the new Rivian R1S offers Jeep-like clearance that can push into deeper terrain than the Model X. And in terms of value, the forthcoming 3-row Kia EV9 appears to take aim at all the features that make the Model X appealing for almost half the cost. Be sure to read our expert rating below for our test team's insight into the Model X's real-world range, utility, and more. Tesla introduced the Model X in 2016. So we bought one and drove it for nearly 25,000 miles over 2 years. It was an all-new design and just Tesla's third electric vehicle, so our first-year Model X had more than a few problems. The latest examples of this SUV have a nicer interior, better build quality, and improved driver assist technology, but many of our observations still apply to today's Model X. Performance has become the calling card of the Tesla brand and the mid-size Model X upholds that reputation. The standard Model X boasts 670 horsepower and accelerates quite quickly. The 1020 horsepower Plaid is even more brutal. Make sure to give your passengers fair warning before putting your foot down. Balancing out that impressive speed are excellent brakes that are both easy to use in traffic and strong and confident when you need to stop in a hurry. There's enough regenerative braking when lifting off the accelerator that you can often drive around without touching the brake pedal. Though we're really not fans of the awkward steering yoke, the X's ultra-quick steering makes it feel nimble, while its low center of gravity and adaptive suspension keep body motions to a minimum. This sizable family SUV drives more like a car. Also worth noting, the adaptive air suspension provides up to 8.9 inches of ground clearance when you need it. One benefit of the larger Tesla models, including the Model X, is the adaptive air suspension, which significantly improves ride comfort. Even with 20-inch wheels and an exceptionally high tire pressure of 45 psi, the Model X boasts an admirable ability to absorb bumps in the road. This quality, along with a cabin well insulated against outside noise, makes for a very comfortable environment. As far as seats go, the Model X's are pretty well cushioned and provide enough adjustments to dial in your personal comfort. But the synthetic leather upholstery lacks breathability, so even mildly warm weather can make the seats feel swampy. The Model X's climate controls are simple to use, but know that the extra-large windshield lets in a bit more heat during hot summer days than a typical size windshield. Obviously, the doors are the biggest story here on the Model X. First you have the driver's door that opens automatically and can be shut without lifting a finger, brilliant. Then you have the rear doors that open like wings, conversation starter, and provide unmatched access to the rear seats. But they can also be liabilities in garages and other places with low ceilings. The user interface is one of the few areas where Tesla has taken a step back with the Model X. The controversial steering yoke is the largest pain point, and the decision to remove the traditional column stalks and replace them with touch-sensitive buttons has made simple everyday actions much more distracting. Even changing lanes requires you to take your eyes off the road momentarily to press the correct arrow button. The big 17-inch touchscreen is a little easier to navigate than the previous Model X touchscreen, but learning the menu structure will take a bit of time. Interior space is generous in the first and second rows. The complex falcon wing door mechanisms intrude somewhat on third-row headroom. Oh, and that aforementioned extra-large windshield provides a panoramic view out like no other. For all the technological marvels in the Model X, there are some shortcomings. The lack of smartphone integration via Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is a big drawback, and Bluetooth is a poor substitute. If you're parked, you've got access to an internet browser that allows you to do stuff like watch Netflix or scroll through YouTube videos, provided you're subscribed to a Tesla data plan or connected to Wi-Fi. The Model X's advanced driver aids also didn't prove as robust as those in other Teslas we've tested. The adaptive cruise control was prone to false positive collision warnings, and lane centering seemed to favor the driver's side line instead of the center. The real-time digital map of all the cars and motorcycles around you is pretty neat to see, and we like that you can pull up the rear-view camera anytime you want. One of Tesla's greatest innovations are the over-the-air updates that can add new features and system optimizations. Also, the big center screen is the largest in the industry, with crisp graphics and a stunning Google-based NAV system. Our only gripe is that it can leave you temporarily mapless in spotty service areas. Storage is excellent in the Model X. The combination of the large rear cargo area, that includes generous underfloor storage for the 5-seat configuration, and the largest front trunk in the segment makes the X the best at hauling cargo. Though we don't recommend an EV if you need to tow things over long distances, the Model X is capable of towing up to 5,000 pounds. The Model X's in-cabin storage configuration for small items is definitely more creative and better than average. There's sizable storage underneath a sliding cover with configurable drawers. We're still not convinced it's the most efficient design, but we definitely like this setup the best by Tesla so far. The Falcon Wing doors absolutely rule for car seat access, and there's sufficient room for a large rear-facing seat behind an average-sized driver. Car seat anchors are tucked a bit deep, though, and the fixed headrests mean the top tethers are awkwardly routed to the side. The latest Model X has an EPA estimated range of 348 miles and a consumption of 33 kilowatt-hours per 100 miles, which is less efficient than the average luxury EV. But the Model X is one of the larger EVs sold and boasts impressive performance. The X comes with an 11.5 kW onboard charger and the usual assortment of charge cord options. It also works with Tesla's nationwide supercharger network, which can make long-distance driving a viable option. Overall, the Model X's pricing is pretty competitive among mid-size luxury EVs even without the benefit of a tax credit. Tesla's build quality has steadily improved over the years, though the Model X's is still a bit below the competition. You do get a battery range and performance advantage, but the interior lacks the solidity of an Audi even if the minimalist design is visually appealing. The basic warranty is 4 years/50,000 miles, which is about average but less than what Jaguar offers. The powertrain is covered for 8 years/150,000 miles, and Tesla guarantees that the battery will retain at least 70% of its original capacity over that period. The Model X is engineered to wow. It'll impress your passengers with its sheer speed and panoramic windshield, and it'll entertain parents in the school pickup line as your kids pile in through an outstretched Falcon Wing door. The X's theatrics have likely converted a good number of SUV fans to EVs. Even a base Model X is pretty fun to hustle around. That's thanks to the low-mounted battery weight that makes it feel more like a car than an SUV. The immediate thrust from the electric motors becomes addicting, so much so that you might swear off gas-powered cars for good. Tesla hasn't released official information on the 2024 Model X as of this writing. We'll update our recommendation if anything changes, but based on last year's lineup, we think the standard Model X trim will suit most buyers. It comes well equipped with plenty of features, including an air suspension, heated and ventilated front seats, and a 17-inch touchscreen. It's also plenty quick for a family hauler, covering 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. The bonkers fast plaid trim will satisfy ravenous dopamine appetites, of course, but it's more expensive, covers less distance on a full charge, and reduces seating to 6 passengers. The Tesla Model X is a dual-motor, all-wheel drive electric SUV available in Model X and Model X Plaid trim levels. Tesla says the estimated driving range for the Model X is 348 miles, while the Plaid travels 311 to 333 miles, depending on seating configuration and wheel size. Standard equipment highlights are listed below, but note that Tesla adds, deletes, and upgrades features via over-the-air software updates frequently during a given model year.